Hello, dear learners! Welcome once again to the third episode of our virtual storytelling. In celebration of the National Reading Month, La Filipina National High School through the Salida TV ensures that we continue to deliver quality education despite the COVID-19 pandemic. We hope that you had fun yesterday. Do you want to hear another story? Well, we will read a story of two individuals who made the biggest decision in their lives. This story is entitled Romeo and Juliet. Are you familiar with this? If for those who are not familiar, this is written by William Shakespeare, known as the father of English playwrights. And this is one of the famous stories in 15th century. It is about two lovers who went through a lot due to the conflict between their families. Have you been in love? If yes, would you do anything just to be with the one you love? Sometimes we must do anything just to fight for our love. But just like any battle, you either win or lose. And there is always a consequence to our choices. Are you ready to face the consequences of a rushed decision? Let's find out in the story.
Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. In the town of Verona lived two families, the Capulets and the Montagues, engaged in a bitter feud. Among the Montagues was Romeo, a hot-blooded lad with an eye for the ladies. One day, Romeo shared to his friends about his love for Rosaline, a beautiful but arrogant lady from a well-to-do family. Romeo's friends scolded him for his love of love, but agreed to a plan to attend the feast of the Capulets, a masquerade ball where Rosaline was expected to make an appearance. The disguises would provide Romeo and his friends a bit of sport and the opportunity to see Rosaline undetected. Once there, however, Romeo's eyes fell upon Juliet, and he thought of Rosaline no more. Asking around to learn the identity of Juliet, Romeo's voice is recognized by Tybalt, a member of a Capulet clan. Tybalt called for a sword, but the elder Capulet intervened, insisting that no blood be shed in his home. So Romeo is tolerated long enough to find an opportunity to speak to Juliet alone, still unaware of her identity. After the ball, Romeo lingered near the Capulet house to talk with Juliet when she appeared in her window. The pair declared their love for one another and intended to marry the next day. With the help of Juliet's nurse, the lovers arranged to marry when Juliet went for confession at the cell of Friar Lawrence. There, they secretly married. Following the secret marriage, Juliet's cousin Tybalt sent a challenge to Romeo. Romeo refused to fight, which angered his friend Mercutio, who then fought with Tybalt. Mercutio was accidentally killed as Romeo intervened to stop the fight. In anger, Romeo pursued Tybalt, killed him, and was banished by the prince. Juliet was anxious when Romeo was late to meet her and learned about the fight, Tybalt's death, and Romeo's banishment. Friar Lawrence arranged for Romeo to spend the night with Juliet before he left for Mantua. Meanwhile, the Capulet family grieved for Tybalt. So Lord Capulet moved Juliet's marriage to Paris to the next day. Juliet's parents were angry when Juliet didn't want to marry Paris, but they didn't know about her secret marriage to Romeo. Friar Lawrence helped Juliet by providing a sleeping drink that would make her seem dead. When the wedding party arrived to greet Juliet the next day, they believed she is dead. The friar sent a messenger to warn Romeo of Juliet's plan and urged him to come to the Capulet family monument to rescue his sleeping wife. The vital message to Romeo doesn't arrive in time because the plague was in town. So the messenger could not leave Verona. Hearing from his servant that Juliet was dead, Romeo bought poison from an apothecary in Mantua. He turned to Verona and went to the tomb where he surprised and killed the mourning Paris. Romeo took his poison and died, while Juliet awakened from her drugged coma. She learned what had happened from Friar Lawrence, but she refused to leave the tomb and stabbed herself. The friar returned with the prince, the Capulets, and Romeo's lately widowed father. The deaths of their children led the families to make peace, and they promised to make a monument in Romeo and Juliet's memory.
What a great consequence they faced in the name of love! I hope that you have learned a lesson from the story. Though it has a tragic ending, but the story teaches us about love and forgiveness. And always remember to think carefully. Never let your emotions rule over you before it's too late. Now, to check your understanding, let us answer these questions. To answer, comment down below after every item. Whoever comments first the correct answer will receive a load. You will be given 5 seconds. And when you hear this sound, then time is up. We will announce the winners on the comment section at the end of this broadcast. So pay attention to the questions. Number 1. How does the story Romeo and Juliet connect to the lives of teenagers today? A. Teenagers today easily fall in love. B. Teenagers easily make decisions on their own. C. Teenagers find time to look and wait for their ideal person to come in their lives. D. Teenagers today let their parents decide as to whom they would fall in love with. Your time starts now. Time is is up. The answer is letter A. Number 2. Is their love real or infatuation? A. Real, because they bought their own house. B. Infatuation, because they expressed love too quickly. C. Real, because they were in the right age. D. Infatuation, because they are willing to die for each other. Your time starts now. Time is up. The answer is letter B. Number 3. Through Tybalt's actions, what can you see in his nature? A. Flirt. B. Loyal. C. Passionate. D. Troublemaker. Your time starts now. Time is up. The answer is letter D. Number 4. What could have been done to prevent this tragedy from occurring? A. Capulet and Montague should have ended their dispute in the first place. B. Romeo and Juliet should not have pursued their love affair. C. Capulet and Montague should not have included Romeo and Juliet in their feud. D. Romeo and Juliet should elope and go to another place to be together. Your time starts now. Time is up. The answer is letter A. Number 5. How do you think parents should handle their children when it comes to building relationship with the opposite sex? A. Parents should interfere in every relationship that their children have. B. Parents should let their children have their relationship and learn from it. C. Parents should choose the man or woman for their children. D. Parents should only guide their children and let them make their own decision. Your time starts now. Time is up. The answer is letter D. Congratulations for performing well this afternoon. May you apply whatever lesson you learned from our story today. See you tomorrow for another story. I will leave you with this anonymous quote. Don't rush things. If something is going to happen, it will happen at the right time, with the right person, and for the best reason. This has been Teacher Karen, your virtual storyteller, only here at Salida TV.
Salida ng Filipina, ang iyong pangarap ay kikislap. Salida ng Filipina, ang kahulugan ay magpaguntan. Salida ng Filipina, edukasyon, abot kamay. Salida ng Filipina, ang tagumpay sa tagumpay.
Mga kabataan, huwag panghinaan. Salida la Filipina ay bigyan daan. Ito ay magbibigay ng kaalaman. TV naman ngayon ang inyong paaralan. Mahirap man ang inyong sitwasyon, tayo ay magtulungan para sa edukasyon. Bawat isa ay mayroong misyon, matutong mabuti, maging inspirasyon.
Salida la Filipina, ang iyong pagkakas.